There's a famous Taoist fable about a poor farmer. His most valuable possession is the horse with which he plows his field.
One day, the corral gate is left open and the horse escapes.
Welcome to the Living Life Our Way podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you live intentionally. Our goal is to take back control of our lives by living life on our terms. Join us as we work towards living life our way.
Welcome back. I'm Jeff.
I'm Troy, and today we're going to be talking about gratitude. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a little experiment we've been running over the past couple weeks.
So we've discovered this book called The Magic, and in it she outlines a 28-day experiment in gratitude, where each day there's a focus as well as a list of the 10 things you're grateful for from the day before.
And then each night you say what the thing is that you are most grateful for, or the experience that you had that you were most grateful for during the day. Now, the book was recommended to us, and we've loved its focus on gratitude, although admittedly, the mystic focus of the book has been a little bit off-putting for us.
Absolutely. We've loved the focus on gratitude, and we've already learned some interesting lessons from this experiment in daily gratitude.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've talked about that we've learned is the idea that things that don't appear to be good oftentimes are if viewed through the right lens.
Yeah, so for example, here in Utah, we've been struggling through a drought. And as we've gone out to shovel snow for the umpteenth time this year, it's hard to be grateful for that experience of shoveling.
Yes, and while I'm still not a huge fan of going out and having to shovel the driveway, viewing it through the lens of gratitude for the water that's providing changes that whole experience. So the question is, how does the Taoist farmer fit into the story?
So the Taoist farmer, his most prized possession was his horse, and it gets out one night through a gate that was left open. So his neighbor comes over to offer his condolences for his bad luck.
Right. And this wise farmer says to his neighbor, good, bad, who knows?
So the next morning, the farmer goes out, and to his surprise, his horse had returned with a couple of wild horses.
Again, his neighbor comes over, this time to congratulate him on his good luck.
To which the farmer replies, good, bad, who knows?
The next day, the farmer's son was out in the corral trying to tame one of the wild horses. He was thrown from the horse and broke his arm.
The neighbor comes over to offer his condolences for the bad luck.
And the farmer says, of course, good, bad, who knows? You're probably seeing a pattern emerge here.
Of course. So then the next day, the army general comes through to draft young men for the war. And the son, with his broken arm, doesn't qualify for the military.
So the neighbor comes over as all the other boys in the village are marched off to war and says to the farmer, what good luck you had.
And the farmer, as typical, responds, good, bad, who knows?
The lesson that we take from this, based on the experience that we've had recently, is that we have to be pretty careful about judging between good and bad. Oftentimes, we're short-sighted, and we may just not be very good at determining what really is good and what really is bad.
Yeah, so doing this every day has provided us an opportunity to really dig in and look for how we are benefiting as a result of these different things happening in our lives.
Right, and it's required us to be a little bit more creative so that we're not making the same list every single day of the same items. And what that has done is it's illuminated a lot of things that we might have not paid attention to or misjudged.
Yeah, and for me, I actually have taken a little bit of a quote-unquote lazier approach, but I've started doing 5 things every day that I put on repeat. So I say the same 5 things every day, and then I do 5 additional things that are different day to day.
So are those 5 things changed every week, or are those remaining the same through the whole experiment?
So they're remaining the same through the experiment period until I feel like there's something else I'd like to replace or add to the list.
Great. And I've been trying to do 10 new things every day, and I will say that I think that Jeff's approach makes some sense. There are some key things that I'm grateful for that I actually want to be reminded of each day. So I've sort of added those to the list, but I like the idea of each day being reminded of those key things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, it's certainly been helpful. There's a lot of things that I am grateful for that I think of kind of sporadically, and putting 5 of those things on the top of my list every day really has helped me keep some things in perspective.
We're continuing this experiment. It's been a lot of fun and I think been very meaningful for us. We'll have some additional feedback and observations as we continue the experiment.
We are grateful for this experiment where each day we are able to focus on those things that we are grateful for. Good, bad, Who knows?
Hopefully you found value in this podcast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. It'll help us a lot.